Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Happy Friday to all of you, and a quick shout out to my newest patrons, Craig K and Bill F. Thank you guys very much for choosing to support the channel. So I had some fun this morning and created this image with Dan Ives' head surfing the $5 trillion green tidal wave. And I said, why not go ahead and actually mint it as an NFT on CNFT, which is a new NFT marketplace on Cardano's blockchain. And just in case somebody out there does want this rare one-of-one NFT, I will put the link in the description below. However, like I said, I was just having fun and wanted to give Dan Ives a shout out for all of his excellent Tesla analysis over the last few months. And what's even cooler and just confirms that Dan is the man, he decided to retweet my tweet. Here we have an awesome project that is actually being built by a patron of mine, Steven. So shout out to you, Steven. It's teslapricetargets.com. And as you can see, you can actually enter the number of Tesla shares you have. So let's just say you have 13 and click out and it'll tell you your current value in Tesla stock. But even cooler, this is a compiled list of price targets sorted by number of followers, but you can sort by all of the different categories. And as you can see, Electrified is on the list with my price target for the next 12 months, $1,717. To be clear, if we're just talking the fundamentals of Tesla, I'm actually much more bullish, even in a 12-month time frame, but I'm also weighing the macro factors, interest rate hikes, supply chain situation, so that's bringing me down a little bit, keeping me under $2,000 a share. You can also sort by the analyst type, institutional or retail. You can see your potential value if Tesla stock price were to reach the specific targets from each analyst. And overall, this is just a fantastic project. Once again, linked below, add it to your bookmarks, check back regularly. A huge swath of the Tesla community is jumping for joy today as Elon tweeted, Tesla merge buyable with Dogecoin. I think a lot of people were expecting this to come, but today it is official. And the product leader at Tesla, Taylor Robinette, said this was such a fun project to work on. We're the first company to price items natively in Dogecoin, not just accepting Doge as a way to pay, but pricing the actual items in Doge. And yes, certain items are now actually only available for purchase with Dogecoin. A lot of you may know I am not a Doge investor. However, I am a proponent and supporter of the crypto and blockchain space. So seeing adoption like this is definitely a step in the right direction. The Cyberquad was actually back in stock for a few hours. And yes, priced in Doge, but now it is back out of stock. And in case you were wondering, here is what the order confirmation page actually looks like. Shifting gears, RBC Capital lifts their Tesla price target to $1,045, up a whopping $40 per share, expecting a Q4 beat. Nick Starachenko on Instagram shared the first footage of the officially certified Mach-E and Model Y. Have a look at the video. This is also a really cool Tesla site, buildingtesla.com. I will link it below. Here we're going to look at Gigafactory 1 satellite images. On the left, you're looking at August 15th, 2021. And when we swipe across, it'll be from January 12th, 2022. Once again, this is back in August. And as we swipe, as you can see, the solar panel build out is making very solid progress. So yes, Tesla is still working on building this out at Giga Nevada. We've heard an awful lot over the last few months about soaring used car prices that are pushing inflation higher. And this headline says there's not much the US can do about it. But what if there is something that you can do about it? Hear me out on this. Yesterday, we saw that inflation is breaking all kinds of records, not in the best way. I don't talk about it too much here, but yes, I was a financial advisor previously for 4 years. Now, no, I am not yours. That said, with Elon predicting a recession over the next 24 months, paired with stocks trading at the highest valuation since the early 2000s, What should you do? Well, one company, yes, the sponsor of today's episode, Masterworks.io, is now allowing you to invest in contemporary art. You may ask, well, why would anybody want to do this? Honestly, there are many reasons, but I'll just give you a few. I bet you didn't know that contemporary art has actually outpaced the S&P by 174% from 1995 to 2020. More importantly though, according to Citibank research, contemporary art has the lowest correlation to the stock market of any major asset class and has outperformed during times of inflation. With just a few clicks, you can create an account with Masterworks and start searching for fine art to invest in via fractional share ownership. And yeah, the next time you're with family or friends and they're bragging about their stock portfolio, you can casually drop in and say that you own some Andy Warhol or Banksy masterpieces and see what they say. After you invest in an offering, you can either hold your shares until Masterworks sells the artwork, or you can sell your shares earlier on the secondary market. So if you would like to skip the waitlist, just use my link in the description below and go check out why some of the savviest investors really are so excited about Masterworks. Thank you to Masterworks for sponsoring this video, and thanks to all of you for supporting the channel. Here we have a sneak peek of some images inside Giga Austin from Joe Tetmeyer on Twitter. We also got some news today that we'll get to momentarily. The structural pack is now integrated into the Model Y user manual, which is a good sign of things to come. Let's talk about Giga Berlin, as we do have some very encouraging news. First, Sawyer said Elon will be visiting Giga Berlin this Sunday, January 16th. As far as I know, this will be the first time he's back since GigaFest back in October. We also get multiple updates to Tesla's German online configurator for the Model Y. First, the long range got a range bump from 537 kilometers to 565. I will put the conversion to miles on the screen for you. With the 19-inch wheels. Switching to the 20-inch wheels, the range is now 533 kilometers, up from 507 previously. The performance variant can now travel 514 kilometers on a full charge, up from the previous 480 kilometer estimate. All estimates are based on the WLTP rating schedule, which we know is more generous than the EPA. Everyone's question is, well, where is the range coming from? As we know, Tesla is always changing things and there's nothing for sure, but one could guess it could be some from the Giga castings. It could be possibly a structural pack starting with 2170 cells. It could just be improved cells themselves. There are, of course, many things that could go into these range increases for the Model Y. It's been reported that the Model Y gets a new battery pack from LG known as the Y5LD that has a capacity of 82 kilowatt hours, up from the previous version, which was 77 kilowatt hours. Interestingly enough, some users were actually commenting that the Model 3 had a range decrease from 614 kilometers to 602 on the 19-inch wheels and 637 to 626 on the 18-inch Aero wheels. We also get more specific delivery timelines. Previously, the site said early 2022. Now it says March 2022. For the Model Y. Listen to this. If you recall, Sawyer tweeted back in December, Giga Berlin will only ship performance Model Y in black and white for now, and if paint goes well, then other colors will follow. And we hear that the German design studio is only displaying March 2022 for black and white performance Model Ys. It was previously suggested that Giga Berlin will start production with these colors. And lastly, existing customers with orders in Germany are now seeing updates to their accounts in which they can finalize their orders. Customers that have orders for other colors, not black or white, are still being told they will be contacted as their delivery date nears. So maybe the first deliveries from Giga Berlin will be sometime in March. In response to this clean technical article about coal using all kinds of water, but yet these environmental groups are bashing Tesla, Elon said, yeah, doesn't make sense. Over the last few days, we've heard some things about some Tesla cold weather issues affecting certain Teslas and the climate systems and the heat pump. If you missed it, I'll include a link to this Twitter thread below. Just wanted to add that Canada has opened a probe into this situation, and I wanted to say I won't be surprised if Tesla has this issue fixed and solved before the probe really even gets underway. Here we have that excerpt from the Model Y owner's manual. The following illustration is provided to improve conceptual understanding. If your Model Y is equipped with a structural battery pack, the exact location of the lift points will differ slightly. Check the vehicle itself for exact location of lift points. To be clear, no, this does not mean that Model Ys are definitely going to ship with a structural pack. although it would lead us to believe there's a good chance, at least maybe from Giga Austin, that would be the most likely in my opinion, and perhaps Giga Berlin. And I'm sorry about this one, but I just have to get this off my chest. So in response to that user-made prototype for the Tesla user interface, Elon said this: almost all input is error. Cars should do the right thing automatically. Sure, it's great in theory, but here's the problem. Right now, the car is not doing the right thing automatically. So until we get to that time, people need to have the option to choose what they want to choose in a fashion that is easy and understandable for everyone that wants to be in a Tesla. I don't know why this is so complicated. I understand where Tesla is trying to go, but until you get to the destination, don't upset a huge part of the Tesla community by essentially taking away control from the human. Like, we own these vehicles, at least we want to. So people want to have input still. Not everybody is ready for this fully autonomous future, and Tesla needs to remember that, especially as they try to go more mainstream. Am I alone on this? I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about this thing below. This Reddit user Raw Digits shared an important PSA. His Plaid has a factory issue that is likely to become a recall. A wiring harness for the suspension can be installed incorrectly, and at 14,000 miles, mine was finally destroyed by friction from rubbing against a tire. The car is undrivable until February 23rd, awaiting a new subframe wiring harness. Here is image number 1, number 2, and number 3. If you have a Plaid or you're interested in this, go ahead and pause the screen and read the extra context. And he did say it was only present on the rear passenger side of his car. He's heard reports of it happening on the rear driver side on others, but no mention of it happening in the front. So Reuters shared some charts of auto vehicle sales in the United States for Q4 and all of 2021. Tesla was not on the list, although their data should have had them in the list. Troy Teslike said they were not included because Tesla does not break out US auto sales, which, however, Vladimir on Twitter went ahead and put Tesla into the list where they should have been. In case you were wondering, here is what the results would have looked like with Tesla included in the overall vehicle sales list. Shout out to Dr. Know-It-All. He had a patron supporter share some information with him about what's going on in Germany and some comments made by the new German transport minister. I will, of course, link his video below if you're interested. Just real quick what the article said, translated with DeepL Translator. The FDP politician made it public he does not believe in a future for the internal combustion engine in passenger cars, saying we have to use the various energy sources where they are most efficient. In the case of passenger cars, that's the electric drive. At the same time, the transport minister warned consumers to continue relying on internal combustion engines, basically warning them not to, saying the use of fossil fuels will become more expensive in the future. That's why I can only advise switching to CO2 neutral drives. At the same time, he said care should be taken to ensure that charging with renewable electricity remains affordable, setting the stage and laying the groundwork for great things to come out of Germany in the years to come for the sustainable movement. BMW said it's going to hold off on making its own batteries, basically because they don't know what technology is going to be around and available for them for the next 10 to 15 years. If anybody out there knows who runs Tesla North, please tell them that their website is awful when it comes to ads. They're everywhere, they constantly pop up. It makes the site almost unreadable. I digress. BMW will only rely on outside suppliers for cells and said the company wants to wait until the field and technology has grown enough to ensure that producing the hardware on its own will be profitable. They said, we have secured our needs for the next few years very well with the partners we have. Well, that's great, but what happens in the few years after that? Lastly for today, found this in a Rivian forum. They apparently have a trademark that is intended to cover the categories of bicycles, bicycle structural parts, electric bicycles, and you get it, things with electric bicycles. Could be cool, could be fun, fits with their ethos, but I really think they should be laser focused on getting their first vehicles up and running in a sustainable and profitable fashion. Just one man's opinion. But that is all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, and enjoyable weekend. Don't forget to check out Masterworks, linked below. And a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.